Hey, what's up, dudes? My name is Peroz. Welcome back to our more tutorials and things. Unfortunately, my wooden spoon was used in dinner last night, so now I got the plastic spoon. And today we'll be talking about After Effects render settings, mostly for like Call of Duty montages. And we'll be talking about how YouTube compresses your videos and how to get, the most quality when you're uploading to YouTube. So cool, we'll get into it. Alright, so we'll jump straight into it after admiring my new camera settings that I sussed out and my new little border I got. Nice and simple, nothing too crazy like my old one used to be. So render settings, I'm going to jump straight into good render settings, decent render settings, mostly for montages. Obviously everything you're going to need will be in the description, and some of your questions will be answered just by reading the description. So yeah, we'll get into it. So After Effects, this is just my Bo7 Mini I made for Misty like last week or whatever. It's just the already rendered version, not the actual project file, but we'll jump into our render queue here. We'll go best settings, and you want to use 24 frame rate FPS. So we'll go across a couple here. There are a couple. So QuickTime is what I like to use for videos like these, where I'm doing my tutorials and things, and I will use the Apple ProRes 422. I'll make sure that's what I render this video in, so you guys can sort of see what that looks like. But if you're just doing a mini, something basic, something simple, nothing too crazy, I would just use Apple ProRes 422. There's nothing wrong with it. It is a bit of a lossless encoder, which is perfect. If you want to get really intense with it, you go Apple ProRes 4444, which is also like a lossless codec. This will give you massive file sizes though. I am using After Effects 2022 because it's the one that I find I enjoy the most personally. If you're using an older or a newer one, you may have different options here, and you may be able to render an MP4, and I haven't been able to render an MP4 for a long time because I use After Effects 2022, which doesn't have H.264 unfortunately. But the Apple ProRes 444 would be absolutely perfect for you to render your videos in. Alright, and then because you should be editing montages in 1080p, 24 FPS. This will say, when you go to resize, it'll say 1920 by 1080, sorry. And you either want to render in 1440p or 4K because of the way YouTube works, which I will get into a bit later, because I know a lot of you are just going to want to grab these settings and use them, try them out, and you don't want to hear all about this and that. So you'll change this to 3840 by 2160 or 1440p. My render settings, what I use, they're not actually mine, they're Spork's, but I love these render settings so much that I use them pretty much for every editor that I do, is AVI. Now you'll notice something here in format options. I have no format selected. Don't want no format, don't want none of that. You get complete lossless quality, you get all the data, you get everything. Obviously when you're editing montages, you do need to watch out for what effects you use, and you make sure you're using certain things that aren't going to diminish your quality. Sometimes things like color correction and all that can affect your the way the quality looks of the finished product, the finished montage. Assuming you're all good, AVI, no format options. The benefits of doing complete lossless AVI, no format, there are a couple of things. So you get full quality obviously, and you get slightly faster render times because it doesn't need to encode anything. Some of the cons are it is a fucking huge file size, which isn't a big problem for me because I do have quite a few drives on my computer, but it will be a massive file size, over 100 gigabyte easily, depending. So yeah, be aware of that. But that's not where I finish my render settings. So obviously I will resize it to 4K, audio on, and away you go, do all of this. And then you end up with this massive file, and that's where VirtualDub comes into play. VirtualDub, you'll be familiar with it if you've ever played with any like Modern Warfare 2 AVI demo files. This is how you will save those. So if you go video, and then you go compression, and then you go XVID MPEG for codec, which is something you will need to download. It's free, open source codec. It is absolutely fantastic. It will keep 99% of the quality, but compress your video down to be a bit smaller. It'll still be like 30 gigs odd, 20 gigs odd, which is still quite massive, but you'll still keep that really crisp, sharp quality, which is very, very nice. And then away you go, file, save, onto YouTube. Now we're onto like the sort of YouTube part of the video, I guess you could say. So YouTube, there is a lot to talk about, and I'm going to try to keep it really fast and simple. I don't know everything, you know, I don't claim to know everything. But from what you hear in the community, this is, I don't know if this is like a myth or not, but YouTube likes it when you have higher frame rates, so like 60 FPS or like 48 FPS, which you might see a lot of edits, a lot of trick shotters do 48 FPS, because a lot of people in the community believe that YouTube, you know, likes higher FPS and will give you higher quality if you have a higher FPS. So a lot of the editors will handbrake their stuff from 24 FPS to 48, so YouTube thinks that it is 48 FPS and you get better quality, which I do sort of believe to be true, but I've never actually personally tried it, which would make for a pretty cool video if I was to try it. So inside here you can change the frame rate to 48 just like that, and off you go, Bob's your uncle. I don't do that though, I don't really bother with that. I mean, I feel like the quality is, you know, fine regardless. So now onto more YouTube stuff too. YouTube has a couple of codecs that it likes to use. It has AVC1 and VP90 or VP9. And you get AVC1 if you upload in 1080p or lower. Just to be clear, AVC1, there is nothing wrong with that. It is a fantastic encoder. It is still great. But VP9 is miles better. Some people will argue about this till death, you know, but I think that VP9 is better from my experience. So VP9, you have like a way sharper image. Obviously, you know, you're uploading in 1440p and 4K. It's gonna be better, you know, regardless, really. This one here is a VP9, so this is 4K. It is like not grainy at all, obviously, except for the grain that I add, you know, effects and whatnot. It is very sharp, and the darks and the whites, the Luma and the Alpha are so good compared to AVC1. So we'll just watch like a little bit of this. There's no sound right now, I'm not recording my desktop audio. So these edits will be linked in the description, because I also have a 1080p one that is unlisted, just to show you sort of what it's like. And you can see it's quite sharp, it's quite good. Obviously, my buddy Misty has fantastic render settings, which will also be in the description. I worked with a buddy of mine, Glovali, to make a how to record your clips video. And here is the 1080p one, which is absolutely butt cheeks. Real quickly, if you right click and you go stats for nerds, you will see the codecs right up here, AVC1. So this one is just 1080p. And you will see that it is just horribly grainy. The darks are not really dark. The lights are kind of shit. Like, oh, I can't even express like how bad this looks. Like, it is like whatever the opposite of sharp is this. Like, all the edges just look like shit. Like, if you just look at like the text and like all of this around here, it is just fucking horrible. So I have both of these linked in the description if you guys to check out. Obviously, this one is unlisted and this one is public. But I think that just about rounds up everything. I mean, there's not much more to really talk about. That's my understanding of YouTube and render settings. Quick shout out Spork for the render settings he gave me, which I still use to this day. They're absolutely fantastic, and I'm more than happy to share that with you guys. Please like and subscribe. Helps me keep making videos, helps me stay motivated to keep helping you guys in the COD community. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Show me what you make. You know, send me your shit. I got a Discord, and I have a little channel in the Discord where you can send all your edits and stuff, and I always go through and I always check them out. And I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next one.